Traffic accidents are a fact of life. So is dealing with insurance companies. You pay them to protect you. That's the idea. But some accident victims say they are being forced to settle or go to court because their claims are being denied. We wanted to know the facts, and in a CNN investigation, we looked into whether some big-name insurers are more interested in profit than policyholders. CNN's Drew Griffin tonight, keeping them honest.
There's an accident in this country every 5 seconds.
It happened in Santa Fe, New Mexico, much the way Allstate describes it in its commercials. Roxanne Martinez driving down Cerrillos Road about noon when the SUV pulled out from Tesuque Drive.
Well, I remember, like hitting the driver's side window, and then I don't know.
The passenger side had been sideswiped. On the driver's side, Roxanne was smashed against the window.
I had upper back pain. I went to chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, acupuncture. They told me that my spine was damaged.
The person driving the SUV that hit Martinez was ticketed and had insurance, Allstate. That was good because Martinez was racking up bills, plenty of them. CAT scans, doctor visits, x-rays, all bills she thought Allstate would cover. But after 3 years of fighting over bills and still hurting from the accident, Allstate came with a take-it-or-leave-it offer, $15,000.
That was for, I guess, the car, medical. That was everything. I thought they'd pay all your bills and, keep on paying your medical bills.
Roxanne Martinez was battling Allstate, the second biggest auto insurer in the nation. What she didn't know was that both Allstate and the largest auto insurer, State Farm, had changed the way they handled so-called minor crashes like hers. In an 18-month investigation across the country, CNN found that if you are injured in a minor accident, chances are high the two companies would challenge your medical claim, offering you barely a fraction of your expenses. They would do it by forcing people into court, dragging out court cases for years, and by convincing the public it was all designed to fight growing fraud in the car accident business. But documents examined by CNN indicate the motive was profit, and Allstate has gone to great lengths to keep those documents secret. In 2 states where Allstate has been sued, the company has defied judges' orders to make the documents public. According to Nevada insurance law professor Jeff Stempel, the new Get Tough strategy is adding up to billions in profit for the insurance companies and little, if anything, for the public.
We can see that policyholders individually are getting hurt by being dragged into court on fender bender claims, and yet we don't see any collateral benefit in the form of reduced premiums even for the other policyholders. So I think now we can say to continue this kind of program is, in my view, institutionalized bad faith.
We wanted to ask Allstate and State Farm all about this on camera in an interview, but they both said no. Allstate did send us an email. In an email, Allstate told us it did not believe it would have any real opportunity of being successful in getting CNN to do a balanced report. State Farm sent an email, too, saying we take customer service seriously and seek to pay what we owe promptly, courteously, and efficiently, and we handle each claim on its own merits. And State Farm also added this: any attempt to generalize that State Farm has adopted consultant recommendations as other insurers is just plain wrong. Who is the consultant State Farm refers to? The giant of the consulting industry, McKinsey & Company, hired by both State Farm and Allstate. McKinsey & Company said it does not discuss any of its clients' business. And at the same time Roxanne Martinez thought she was in good hands with Allstate, Allstate was being advised by McKinsey, in writing, to put boxing gloves on those good hands. That strategy, says Martinez's lawyer, was to take valid claims and pay pennies on the dollar. Attorney David Berardinelli has written a book about it and is challenging Allstate's strategy in what he hopes will be a class action lawsuit.
So if you wanted to increase profit, you would try to chop the small claim.
Sure. If you could take $1,000 off of 1 million claims, do the math.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Shannon Kometz was an Allstate claims agent in New Mexico before she became a cop. She says she was trained by Allstate to treat most minor accident victims as frauds and offer them as little as possible.
$100, yes. I've offered people $50. They have minimal damage to the back of their vehicle, and they're claiming that they're hurt.
Then Kometz got to see the insurance strategy firsthand, from the other side.
I turn around and get in a car accident myself. My car has minimal damage, and I can't walk. And I realized, whoa, what am I doing? This is not right.
It really came down to three basic elements: a position of delay, a position of denying a claim, and then ultimately, of course, defending that claim that you denied.
The 3 Ds.
Exactly.
Jim Mathis is a former insurance company insider who now testifies against insurance companies in court.
And the profits are huge.
Profits are good. And as long as the public allows this to occur, the insurance companies will get richer, and people will not get a fair and reasonable settlement, period.
Insurers don't blanket deny claims on any grounds whatsoever.
Robert Hartwig is president of the Insurance Information Institute, an insurance industry trade group.
What insurers are trying to do is monitor costs, and every insurer is under the same pressure to do it.
And this Allstate training manual obtained by CNN details how that was going to be done by forcing what the manual calls smaller walkaway settlements. The walkaway settlement for Roxanne Martinez was a take-it-or-leave-it offer of $15,000 that came 3 years after her accident. She said that would pay a little more than half of her costs.
It's kind of hard when you're thinking, like, you know, are they going to leave me broke? Or, you know, I mean, that was very stressful.
And when we come back, we'll tell you what can happen when you take an insurance company to court. Also ahead, a sorority that's taking heat for says the women weren't. Before the break, we introduced you to a woman who says she was put through the ringer by car insurance giant Allstate. She said that Allstate wanted her to settle for thousands of dollars less than what she was entitled to. She refused the deal that they offered and went to court. And that's where she says the battle got even tougher. Her case isn't an isolated one, however. As our reporting reveals, accident victims across the country are fighting back against the insurance companies they thought would protect them. Once again, CNN's Drew Griffin.
When Ann Taylor's car was rear-ended,
I woke up the next morning, I couldn't move. I had severe pain in my back. Down both legs were numb and tingly.
The doctor diagnosed herniated disc muscle tears, and the treatment would mean time off work, therapy, and medical bills. The person who hit her was a State Farm employee driving a State Farm car, so Taylor thought at least financially she'd be covered. It added up, said Taylor, to $15,000. But after dragging out her claim, State Farm offered her only $2,000.
I was just very insulted.
Taylor hired attorney Jeff Cook and decided she would fight. It turned into a major legal battle, eventually ending up in this courtroom. Taylor's case is an example of how the two largest auto insurance companies, State Farm and Allstate, have changed the way they handle claims when people are hurt in minor impact crashes. CNN's investigation reveals a strategy to increase profits by limiting payments to accident victims. And former insurance insiders say most of the industry has adopted the strategy. Allstate and State Farm, the industry leaders, would not talk to CNN for this report. But Jim Mathis, a former insurance company insider, who now testifies against the insurance business in court, did. And he says cutting payments to people like Taylor has meant billions for the insurance companies.
It's not based on what should be a settlement value or offer to this claimant. It's not based on ethics. It's not based on profits. It's based on how much profit.
Taylor's case finally got to court 3 years after her accident. Her lawyer brought in medical testimony. To present its case, State Farm just dug deep into Ann Taylor's past.
The lawyer stands up and says to Ann Taylor during her cross-examination, "Tell the jury about your back injury when you were 16 years old."